Yo, what's going on, everybody? It is 3 p.m. here in New Vienna, Iowa. That means it's time for another live stream. Today is Tuesday, Election Tuesday, November 3rd, 2020. Hopefully, you guys are doing well. It is an absolutely beautiful day here in Iowa. The temperature, believe it or not, it's in the 70s. I was just outside with the girls, and I didn't need a jacket. I didn't really know what to do with myself. Just this morning, I ran in a winter hat, mittens, a neck gaiter. I didn't have it up, but I had one on and like full length tights. And now it's like balmy. It's really, really strange. But I'm not going to look a gift horse in the mouth. It is absolutely beautiful. I spent a lot of time outside with the girls today. My daughter didn't have school today because in Illinois, it is now a state holiday for Election Tuesday. So schools were closed. So that's a nice thing. And so, I decided, you know what? We're going to cancel Kofuzi preschool today too. So we've all just kind of hanging out and having a nice and relaxing time. Let's see who's here today. Stevie76, it's not official till you get a sticker. I mean, I voted last week. I dropped off me and my wife and my votes. We dropped them off at a ballot box in Chicago. And, we had these stickers, but I thought I wouldn't wear it until today. So for everyone else who has already voted, thank you. For everyone that is planning on voting today, hurry up and go vote. I don't know what you're waiting for. I don't know why you even waited till today. I hope you don't have to wait a long time, and I hope everyone gets to vote. That's the thing I hope. Did I not put it up there? I thought I put it up there. All right, Dow Run says, I'm too young to vote. That's cool. But I hope that you are staying involved in some way or another as well, because you're never too young to participate. Mark Rainey says, hey, Kofuzi's no election anxiety here. That's the thing that I've been seeing the most of, because I've been doing people are calling it doom scrolling. I've been doing the doom scrolling. And the main thing that I've been seeing so far, I've been seeing some alarming things here and there. But the main thing that I've been seeing is everyone talking about how anxious they're going to be. And maybe it's a little too early. Maybe the really nasty stuff is coming. There's going to be a twist, right? There's got to be a plot twist to something that happened to today. So we'll see what that is later. But for now, I'm feeling fine. I'm feeling normal. I'm feeling relaxed. I had a good run this morning. Ran in the Endorphin Pro. I had a good run. Enjoyed it. Temperature was just right for the workout I was doing today. And then I've been relaxing with the girls all day. So it's been nice. My daughter even took a nap today. She's feeling a little bit under the weather. She's a little congested. I think I gave what I had to her and just a little bit of a head cold. So she actually took a nap for a little while and it was relaxing. The girls learned checkers. Somehow my daughter didn't know how to play checkers yet. But grandma has a really big set of a giant checkerboard. And so we've been playing that, and it's been fun. Chris Yao said, hi, everyone. Chris Yao. Wow. Oh, there we go. So look at this avatar here. Chris Yao said, hi, everyone. Voted by mail about a month ago. No sticker for me. Insert sad face here. But when you got your ballot, you didn't get a sticker? That's how I got this. We didn't go to a location. We requested a mail-in ballot, and you can hand in your mail-in ballot. That was our plan. And this came with our mail-in ballot. So it'd be disappointing if you didn't get one, because that's a fun part of it. In Chicago for a while, I like the sticker, but for a while they gave out the bracelet, the I voted bracelets. I don't like those nearly as much. I like this. I enjoy the sticker. Roadrunner Review says, how's everyone? What's going on? I think everyone's doing okay. I'm trying to take the pulse of everyone here, but I think we're doing all right. Philip Bourne says, sitting in a safe distance on the other side of the globe and following the elections closely. Yeah, well, there's tumult everywhere, it seems, globally from following the news. So hopefully wherever you are is very safe. Casey A says, happy election day, everyone. Yes. Mark Rainey says, I assume we will need several weeks to count all the votes by hand again. We'll see. We'll see. I would love to see, I suppose one way or the other, that it gets, it's a landslide either way, just so that there's more certainty. I think that if it gets to the point where the lawyers and courts have to get involved, then it's going to that's where things are going to get nasty. And so I hope that we don't need the several weeks, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Mark Rennie says, the Electoral College may not be needed now that horses don't carry our mail anymore. Just a thought. That's something that I thought of for a long time, but especially after 2016, is that like, why isn't anyone running on the let's get rid of the Electoral College thing? Because, for example, in Illinois, I don't know if the members of the Electoral College are bound to respect the popular vote in the state of Illinois. And I don't know if they are allowed to pick something different, go against the popular vote, who that person is and how they got their job. So like, I feel like when there is a lack of clarity like that, it's probably a good thing to get rid of. JC says, amazing presidential fact. John Tyler, the 10th president of the U.S., has 2 living grandsons. I saw this in SJD Vol comments a few months ago. Wow. That's amazing. We will have trivia today. I forgot to type the questions into the banner and the stuff below, so I'll try to like do them as we go. But I do have presidential election trivia today. So yeah. So if you guys are hungry for some amazing presidential facts, I got some. I think that you guys will probably know them, but we'll see. Kevin Bickerton is here. Says, "Hey, hi Kofuzi." All right. Let's see. Terrence, who says, ready, aim, glutes fired. Yeah, my glutes, I feel like I was concerned today because I did my regular workout, not workout, warm up. And my glutes felt nice and activated. And then I drove to where I was going to go run today. And so I was like, I was sitting for like 10 minutes. Do I have to reactivate glutes? Is that long enough for glutes to deactivate? And I didn't do another warm-up, but I think I was fine. I mean, I ran, part of the warm-up, and then I got into it. So I think it worked out okay. We'll see. All right. Martha says she voted weeks ago by dropping mail ballot into a secure ballot drop box in front of the sheriff's office and waved at the video camera. Yeah, I think you told us that, Martha. I didn't wave at the video cameras, but I saw that there were 2 pointing at like at the drop boxes. There was one for Chicago, the city, and one for suburban voters that were there. So I was like, I felt good about it. And inside the building, the wall was glass. The cameras were behind the glass wall. And then inside the building was like the security desk for the county building. And there were multiple guards sitting there. I mean, I think that there are always at least one guard there to be at the building 24 hours, but it seemed like there was a couple more people there. So and I got confirmation emails, so I feel like my vote is there. Stevie76 says, yo, what's going on? Awesome. My mom's here. Hi, Mom. Hopefully you voted too, Mom. I know we didn't actually talk about it, but I hope you did. All right. Arnold Allen says, it's 80 degrees here in Austin. Ooh, nice. Stevie76 says, if it's in the 70s, it's time for 2-inch shorts. I packed away the 2-inch shorts. I mean, I didn't pack them away. I put them in a box, and like my clothes are like back there somewhere, and then the box is like on the floor. I think it might be there's a table over there. I think they're in a box over there, but they're not in the regular like rotation of stuff. I feel like we're done. I was watching the news today. I don't know if it's the case in all rural areas, but in this rural area, the local news is like 75% weather. And the weather report was saying like, it gave a really strange fact. It said in the last 2 weeks of October, 11 days, Iowa didn't hit 50 degrees. And I was like, in the last 2 weeks, 11 days? I was like, this is like the weirdest math problem ever. And then it said like after that, then it was like, and then November is going to be unseasonably warm. So I'm like, oh, okay. And then the forecaster said something strange. He said, and as it always goes, whenever there's a cold spell, it always bounces back and you get weeks of mild weather. And I was like, is that something a weather forecaster can confidently say as a scientist? And I was like, I don't know. Is that how it works? I guess. I don't know. So I was confused. I was really confused by the weather report today. I'm like, it's like it's such an odd way of speaking. Like it just was so indirect. Everything was indirect. I didn't get it. I don't know. Maybe my brain is just mush at this point, and I can't understand a weather forecast. Scotty B had an AM rooster run, 40 degrees, and it's now 70. He did speed work, fartlek, pyramid, and endo speeds. Awesome. I almost ran in the endorphin speed today, but I thought, you know what? I want to try to get the pros and get some miles in them. I haven't run in them in a while. And I was glad that I picked them. I actually really enjoyed them today at threshold speed for me. And so that was faster than I had run in them really before. And I felt really good in them today. So it was good. Hopefully your rooster run, Scotty, was also good. But a fartlek pyramid, that sounds like fun. Louis Romo says, yo, what's going on? What's going on, Louis? And Louis Cameron is here as well. Ivan Cass says, yo, Kofuzi looking good. Thanks. I trimmed the mustache today. And some of this extra stuff all the way over here. So a little bit of a trim. I told my wife that I was like, oh, just gonna trim the mustache today. And she like was working, and then her like eyes shot up, and she's like, did you say you're gonna shave the mustache today? I said trim. I said trim. And she was like, oh. So she got really excited when she thought that maybe I was getting rid of this thing. Frank LaHooler says, in a meeting, I'll just be responding to the question that Cope puts up on the screen. All right. Well, with that, let's do that. Let's get to the first question. And I apologize that it didn't type them up ahead of time. So I'll like quick copy paste from my other thing here. And we'll get question number 1 in here. I don't know. We'll do it this way. Ready. Here we go. All right. Question number 1. It's election trivia day. So which state has most accurately predicted the presidential election winner? So they always say stuff like, you know, like as Iowa goes, so goes the nation, like that kind of thing. But what state has most accurately predicted the presidential election winner? That's the first question. All right, let's see what kind of answers we got here. First, we got... let's see. Wayne Westby says, if I shave my upper lip, it will be cold. It might be. It's definitely like, I think it's going to be a different skin color, you know, because it's been, you know, behind this shade for a little bit. So it'll be, it would be interesting. Keep for Vacation says, mustache, more like crustache. There's some crustiness that has been happening in here. And so like I've been getting stuff in it. I need to maintain some hygiene. Let's see. All right. Ooh, we got lots of answers for which state is the best predictor of the presidency. Martha says Ohio. Mark says Florida. Ross coming in with Nevada. Bert says Belgium. Does Belgium ever do? I mean, do other countries ever do that? Because I mean, it's not. It wouldn't be, you know, binding in any way, obviously. But like, kind of like how, I feel like news outlets should do that. Like, who did? I mean, I thought I saw some stories saying that like, here's like who different countries would want. I think they interviewed like different correspondents, but like and tried to figure out like what president other countries might want. But it'd be kind of like, you know, when they do like the they give like an octopus a couple of different options, and they have the octopus pick the winner of the NCAA Final Four. You know, that kind of thing. We should have the other countries pick and see who they would want. I mean, like a poll, like not like an actual voting, but I think a poll would be interesting. Steve Gerbersdorf says Iowa. It's not Iowa. Mark Rannison's Pennsylvania. You would think so, with the way that people are talking about Pennsylvania. But I think Frank has the first correct answer. Ohio. Ohio is the state that most accurately predicts the presidency. They've decided, or they haven't decided, but they correctly answered. Or their state went the way of the presidency. The last 14 elections in a row, the last time that Ohio didn't vote the same way as whoever won the presidency was Nixon versus Kennedy. So what was that, like 68? No, well, whatever year that was. The second one, 72, right? I don't know. I don't remember the year, but I remember it was Nixon versus Kennedy. Yeah. So there's that. Good job, Frank. Remember, there are no points and no prizes for winning. But, thanks for playing. All right, let's get to question number 2. All right. And, hopefully none of these questions jinx anything. But here's what I'm going to do for question number 2. So we've got an incumbent president that's running for re-election. Who was the most recent incumbent president to lose or I guess I could say his re-election bid? Who was the most recent incumbent president to lose their election bid? Yorgi says, I think Trump is going to win. I have a feeling that you're right. That's, yeah. Ross W says, we do polls for U.S. elections in the U.S., but it's not accurate. Well, that's true too. I guess it'd be fun, from a novelty perspective, to know what people in other countries would pick. Mark Chankoko says, apparently our election is a big deal to Canada. All of my Canada friends keep asking who I voted for. Yeah. I think it's this election is a big deal to a lot of people. Bert says in Belgium, Democrats always win with 90%. Wayne Westby, I think, answering the last questions, who most accurately predicted the last several presidential elections, says Russia. All right, so let's go back to the question for today. The next question, which is, who was the most recent incumbent president to lose? Let's see. I think you guys knew it. You guys got it right. Let's see what the first one. I think it was Ross W. Had it. Bush. And then Daniel M. George Bush. Arnold says Bush Sr. I mean, you guys got it. You guys nailed it. George H.W. Bush. Herbert Walker. Man, everybody had this. Jason, Rainrunner. Good job. You guys know your history. I am not. Key for vacation. Donald Trump. I mean, hopefully. I mean, that would be my preference. But yeah. Fivehead says George Bush. Frank says Bush the first. Bryony says old Bush. Let's see. George L. Hernandez says Carter, which is well, I mean, it's correct that he did not win. Yeah. Before that was George Bush lost to Bill Clinton, and then Carter lost to Reagan. So yeah, that was right before that. Chris Yao says the latest track of Hurricane Eta. I think it's weird that they're on these Greek names now, or Greek letters. Now includes South Florida. Come on, bashing the keyboard a little bit. Hopefully, you're gonna be all right, Chris. Let's see. Wow. Luis Becerra says not just in Canada, in Mexico we are also watching. I would bet. Mm-hmm. Daniel M says presidential fact. Andrew Jackson's pet parrot was removed from his funeral because it would not stop swearing. Is that really true? I would imagine though that why would you remove it? Because if that was his pet parrot, don't you think that he if I had a pet parrot that just cursed all the time, it was probably because I taught it to curse, or I was always cursing around it and I thought it was humorous that it was cursing all the time. And I feel like, you got to let the man and his parrot have that moment before passing to the afterlife. But I mean, I don't know if you made that fact up. It's an amazing fact, made up or true. And I applaud that. That's good. Yeah. And Martha says every country that was a friend to this one, our neighbors Mexico and Canada and most of Western Europe, is holding its breath over this election. Yeah. Key Verification says if he does lose, I would like 10 million points to be retroactively deposited in my Trivia Tuesday account next Monday. Yeah, done. Fivehead says I'm from the UK, but I'm still invested in the election. Yeah, a lot of people are. Seems to be a lot at stake. I look forward to. I think a lot of people are looking forward to election season being over, and I hope that regardless of what happens, that there can be some healing afterwards, because there's been a lot of damage that's been done. Yeah, Stephen Gorozov said the Electoral College is in place to protect the rights of states with small populations. Is that what it's for? I thought it was just because a popular vote was logistically difficult. And so it was a means of like, I always thought it like it was somewhat rooted in elitism as well, where people were like, politicians were like, I don't know if we could trust the people. Have you met the people? I don't know if we could trust them. We need these electoral college people to vote sensibly. I always thought that that's kind of what it was. And so another reason why, in my mind, it needs to be gotten rid of. And as far as like protecting the rights of states with small populations, isn't that what the Senate's for? I don't know. Yorgi says, I feel like people are underestimating Trump, which is worrying. Yeah. All right. Arnold Allen says, Daniel's fact is true. The parrot fact is true. It's an amazing parrot. Like, I wonder if it was just like repeating one curse word over and over, or if it was like putting together like an eloquent diatribe. You know, like maybe he was repeating like something that President Andrew Jackson would say about like a Secretary of State or something like that. Like, I can't believe that guy, right? Can you imagine? And if it was like a really like crushing, insightful like takedown, that would just be amazing. And then like, what was it like? Did he have a widow? Like, was the wife just like, I don't know, you shouldn't have been such a jerk. I don't know. That's amazing. Frank Lahulier asking the question that I totally should have had. Are there any other presidents than W that ran a marathon? Preliminary question 1. W ran a marathon? I didn't know that. I had no idea. And then I can't think of another person who has. Jimmy Carter rides a bike a lot, doesn't he? I always thought he was pretty into fitness, I thought. Clinton jogged, but I don't think he was in marathon shape ever. The parrot was saying glutes, glutes, glutes. That's funny. All right. Let's go to question number 3. Go to question 3. And I feel like you guys will probably know this because you guys are just nailing the history today. We were talking about the last incumbent president to lose their election, and you guys got H.W. Bush and Carter, the last 2. But the question is, who was the most? Oh, that's the wrong one. Sorry, I did it wrong. Let me. I'm copying and pasting wrong today. Oh, yeah. No, that was right. Sorry. The question is, who's the first incumbent president to lose re-election? So George Herbert Walker Bush was the last one. Maber Kiefer-fication. We'll have an addendum to that answer next week or in several weeks. But who was the first president to like not win? Let's see if you guys know that one. Adam Steves says, heard on Rambling on the Run that you were going to be part of his online symposium. Sounds fun. That's true. I didn't know he was like announcing that today or in the last one, but that's the reason why I ordered a pair of Alphafly because I felt like I needed to have that knowledge because I'm going to be doing a talk as part of Matt Chittum's Rambling Runner. Like it's like a 2-day like running symposium, basically. I know he's not calling it a symposium, but did he call it a symposium? It's kind of like that. But yeah, I am going to be on that. It's going to be in January, so keep an eye out for that. I'll have some more information on that. Stevie76 says, W liked running in hot weather. Well, I mean, he's from Texas. I would hope he was at least acclimated to it. Let's see, Marchenko said, I'd vote for a president that ran a marathon. Yeah. I mean, it would definitely have my attention. I like Beto for that reason, because Beto was a runner. And I was like, all right, I like a candidate that runs. It's got my attention so far. Obama seemed like a marathon guy. Obama was still sneaking cigarettes, though, I think, throughout the presidency. So I feel like, that wasn't really in his cards, I think. Derek Dickman says, Bush was a decent runner in 1993 before he became the 43rd president. Bush, then 46, ran at 3:44. What? Wow. That's great. Amazing. 3:44. That's a pretty good time. Cal Runs Boulder says, as a liberal in a red state, I'd love to see the electoral college go. I feel like my president votes never count. Yeah. I feel like that's got to be really disappointing. I mean, I think another reason why like we should get like just like Cal was saying is because then like there's so many states where just like your vote doesn't for president doesn't matter. It doesn't get counted. I mean, it gets counted, but doesn't move the needle at all. So like it just I don't know. We have the capacity to count all the votes, and we should. I mean, count all. One vote should equal any other vote. Brian Nee said Paul Ryan ran a marathon too. Did he run them in Allbirds? Did he do it in the Allbird runner? Huh. Bert, I guess, says I only vote for politicians that run a sub 4-hour marathon. Otherwise, it's just a political stunt. Yeah, Tiva says single issue voter on is the candidate an active runner. I mean, I suppose maybe from now on, I'll put out a voting guide and it'll just be like runs or not, and then like relevant PRs. Like, is this presidential candidate on Strava? Like, it'll be like a poll. Maybe we'll send out a questionnaire. We'll send out a Kofuzi Run Club election questionnaire, and it'll say, Strava account link, yes or no, recent PRs, actively running, like what's the weekly mileage, favorite running shoes of all time, like that's all it'll be. It'll just do you think any of the presidential candidates would actually fill it out and send it back? I suppose there's only one way to find out. Wow, we should have thought of this a long time ago. That would have been fun. I mean, I don't, but like it would have been more fun when there was still like 20 different candidates that were like in a caucus time. That would have been fun. I Run on Beer says, I met Biden at a local trail 5K. He's originally from Delaware. He set the race up as a benefit for his son. Oh, wow. That's crazy. That's cool. I think one of the things that most people don't realize, unless you're from like the East Coast or specifically are familiar with like the Delaware Pennsylvania border, is like how like much the same like Eastern Pennsylvania is to like Delaware. So like I had to do a lot of work in Wilmington towards like the end of my career, to put it that way. And most of the attorneys that I worked with that were local to the Wilmington, Delaware offices, most of them lived in Philadelphia or in the suburbs, and they just drove down in the morning. And I was like, how long of a commute is that? And I remember it being like less than an hour. I mean, they weren't in like downtown Philly, but like they were in the suburbs. So, but like it's really, really close. And so like Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, Eastern Pennsylvania, Southeastern Pennsylvania, Delaware, it all really like blurs. It just feels like it all has the same like gritty East Coast feel to it, like Steel Town kind of feel, even though Steel Town is much further over, but it has all that like same feel to it. Lots of old cities. All right. Chris says, I can run 3:44, but living in Miami, I operate on Latin time, so probably more like 4:30 to 5:30. That's funny. Awesome. Arnold says, the Reverend Norman goes on to report that the presidential parrot was excited by the multitude and let loose perfect gusts of cuss words. People were horrified and awed at the bird's lack of reverence. Oh my good. It's a bird. It's a parrot. The parrot doesn't know. Oh, but that's amazing. That's so amazing. Oh, funny. Yeah, Kiefer Vacation says, Wilmington is only like 25 minutes from Philly. Brian Nee says fake Bush, in parentheses, Will Ferrell also runs marathon. That fact I did know. Spence Ohm says, I passed our mayor in a half marathon last year. I didn't recognize her until photos after the event. Oh, cool. I wanted to try and run with I'm drawing a blank on Chicago's mayor, not Lori Lightfoot, but why am I drawing a blank on his name? because I'd met him a couple of times before at different like park openings and like other like just public functions, like stuff like that, like playgrounds getting like rededicated. And then I know he's an avid runner, and I was thinking, I bet you if I do the Ravenswood 5K, I'll see Rahm Emanuel. Rahm Emanuel is the name that's been escaping me. And I do think Rahm Emanuel regularly runs the Ravenswood 5K. So I feel like I should have done it. I bet you I could have seen him. But I don't. I also probably would have like literally run into like his guard around him, because I think he would. I can't imagine Rahm just like running loose in a 5K. He probably has some sort of detail that's also running with him. But I feel like, I mean, I guess I'm probably not, I don't have the skill set or the size to be a bodyguard. But like if the Secret Service, I'm sure the Secret Service has lots of runners. But if the Secret Service ever, like let's say Beto O'Rourke started running for president, and then they needed someone to accompany with him on a 20-miler, I mean, I suppose they would probably just drive the car by him. But if you wanted to be a little bit more incognito, I would do that job. I would love that job. That'd be fun. I mean, what a great job. You get to like run for work. I mean, I guess I run for work. All right. Yeah. Let's see. Eka Sport says, do you have high arches? I started getting knee pain after running in my first Sauconys, Triumph 17. Could be a coincidence, but I don't know. I think when I did, I had my feet measured at Roadrunner Sports. They have this like 3D measuring thing. There's a bunch of cameras that looks like maps your foot. One of my arches is medium and the other one is high. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe I have a high arch, and that's why I don't like some of the Sauconys. It could be. I don't know. Ben White said, did we forget about the quiz? We did. Did I have a question pending? Who was the first incumbent president to lose the election, to lose re-election? The first incumbent president to lose re-election was John Adams. He lost to Thomas Jefferson in 1800. So, like, was that right? Yeah. Is that right? No. 1800 couldn't have been the year, was it? But, yeah. The fact that I think I got this from Encyclopedia Britannica. It's a website now. I don't remember the year. I didn't write that down. But John Adams was the first incumbent president to lose the election. And now whenever I hear the word John Adams, I only hear it in the voice of King George from Hamilton. John Adams? I've met that man. That one. That's kind of how, yeah. But thanks, Ben, for getting us back on track. Innes says, Biden seems in decent shape compared to Trump. Even if he isn't a runner, at least he isn't overweight. I mean, I'm concerned about both of their health, to be frank. I'm more concerned about one person's health than the other, but yeah. Ross W said, I saw Jared and Ivanka when I ran the Army 10-miler. They were surrounded by security. Did they run it? They were running, or were they spectating it? Huh. I didn't know that they were runners. You know, running accepts all comers. Yeah, right, bro. IG says, if you ran as like a Secret Service to protect like a presidential candidate, it'd be like being a pro runner, but you'd carry a Glock. There are people that do that. I got lost in Instagram Reels one day. I love Reels. I hate TikTok and I hate the dancing. It's cute. I could see why people like it, but Instagram has figured out that I like running reels, so it just shows me just mostly running reels and a lot of skiing. And there was one that I came across about a woman who was basically testing like 3 different concealed carry options for women while running. One was like in the bra, another one was like in the tights, another one was like around the waist or something like that. But there are people for a variety of reasons that I'm not going to necessarily disagree with, that feel like they should carry a Glock while running. It's not for me, but I could see why some people would want to do that. But it's kind of crazy. Yeah. JC says, Clinton had Secret Service runners. Remember how Letterman used to make fun of his short shorts and pasty white thighs? Yeah, I know. That's when I first thought about like someone's job is to run with the president. That's pretty amazing. Yeah, Mark Rain says, and Clinton strips a McDonald's mid-run. Did he really do that, or was that a joke? I mean, I know like everyone like really teased cravings and his love of fast food, but I mean, it seems strange to say that now. But yeah, I wonder if that was it. Did he really stop in the middle of a run to stop by like a DC area McDonald's? Yeah. Oh, Ross W says Jared and Ivanka were running in it. Oh, wow. The 10 miler is no joke, so that's pretty cool. All right. And it says, I still can't get my head around the fact that America has so many people and you end up with 2 old men running for president. You're not the only one that thinks that. There's a lot of people that think that. Yeah. 100 max power that says, yeah, I'm also getting stuck on rails. Yeah. At first I hated it. I just like, these are dumb. I didn't like the thing that people were doing where like they passed like a shoe to each other and then like they received the shoe like that. I detest those. I detest the like, I'll throw clothes in the air and then like it cuts to the clothes are all on me. Oh, how did that happen? Like I don't like any of those. But like Instagram either figured out that I don't like those or like people have realized like that's a way underutilization of this feature. And so people have like, I've been just liking the reels that I watch is basically just people running fast for like 30 seconds straight. Like that's what I watch. All right. Oh, sorry. Heavy set go. I don't want to spam the chat, but I'm wondering about your gear list for your running footage. Sorry about that. I saw that earlier and I apologize. The gear list for my running footage is really simple. It's a GoPro Hero 9 and an extendable selfie stick. That's it. Sometimes I use a 360 camera, but then it's right now it's an Insta360 1R. I will, I ordered the new 1X2, which is a weird name for a product, but Insta360 1X2, and that's coming. But like right now I'm using the 1R and the same extendable selfie stick. And that's it. Yeah, Philip Bourne, where's the logic in electing 70-plus-year-olds as president? Shouldn't they be in retirement and leave ruining the world to a younger generation? I suppose. But, like, you know, if people want to vote for them, I suppose that's fine. Christia says, one of my favorite TikTokers is a girl who plays the roles of herself as a driver and that of her car's GPS system giving dumb answers. I like that. Interesting. All right, let's get to one more question. We're on question number 4. All right. Now we're going to start getting pretty nerdy. I mean, I guess all these questions are nerdy. I'm doing presidential trivia, so they're all going to be nerdy. All right, we've been talking about the Electoral College, right? So let's talk about what? That's not, why is it doing that? There we go. Yeah, this web app is giving me some issues. The question is, what was the Electoral College score in Bush v. Gore? So if you've been watching any of like the 24-hour news channels in the last month, you've been seeing like the race to 270, that you need 270 to win. What was the Electoral College score in Bush v. Gore back in 2000? Yeah. Ashley Hopkins says, I am 23 miles into my SL20. I love them, but do they break it at all, or does Light Strike remain firm? Thanks. Actually, I think the Light Strike kind of stays that way. And so that's why it's not my favorite like everyday shoe, because like on days where I'm like, I just want to be a little bit more relaxed, it's not my favorite because it is a bit on the firm side. It really likes it once you pick up the pace. So like, kind of what you're getting is what you're going to have. Mark Rainey says 130 to 124. No, that I don't think those numbers really add up. Yeah, Arnold Analyst says where'd it go? Arnold Analyst says it was decided by the Supreme Court, so it didn't matter. Maybe, but there was still a score. So, but like when I realized what the number was, I was like, oh, I didn't realize it was really that close. Spence says 271 to 267. I don't know what the total number is supposed to be. The total has to add up to, or at least in 2000, I don't know if it changes. In 2000, it's supposed to add up to, let me do math in my head here, 537. Yeah, 537 total. Rain Runner says 270 versus 268. Luz Becerra, 271 Bush, 266 Gore. That's exactly right. 271 to 266. So like I just don't know how it could get closer. Daniel M says, I have no clue on this one, but I was 8, so I think I get a pass. I was in 2000, I was 21. So yeah. SD, very excited for his candidate today. Awesome. Welcome, SD. Heavy Set Go also had the correct answer, 271 to 266. Yeah. Very good. Wow. How'd you guys know that? Did you guys look it up? I would have had to have looked it up. Yeah. 538. Oh, like 538 politics? Is that where that number comes from? Oh, I just thought it was like, it was, I legitimately, I thought 538 was like a super political, nerdy like rap reference, and it was someone's area code. That's really what I thought it was. Yeah. So, but yeah, that makes a lot more sense. Very cool. All right, let's get to question number 5. Speaking of Bush versus Gore, we were talking about how it was back in 2000, right? But when was the Supreme Court case of Bush versus Gore decided? So, like, there's been a lot of talk about, like, we gotta know on election night. It's unacceptable if people have to wait a couple of days to figure out who is the president. When was Bush versus Gore decided by the United States Supreme Court? That's the next question. Question number 5. Yeah. Let's see. Oh, KJ Mark says 538 is number of congressmen plus number of senators. Is it? So that then it must change anytime that it must change at the census. That's interesting. Louis Becerra guessing January 8th for the decision of Bush versus Gore. You know what? When I looked at this information, it was earlier than I remember. I remember it being something that people talked about forever. Yeah, Heavy Set Go says January 2001. Daniel M says they called an emergency session. I just know 2001 from the court citation. But that might be when it's reported, though, because the decision was not, I'll give you a hint, it's not in 2001. Scotty B says December. Yeah, Mark Chango says, I feel like I'm in school, government class. I mean, it kind of is. Yeah, but it was December, and I'll give you the date. Bush versus Gore, unless I've got this wrong, but my Google search on it said that the Supreme Court decision came down on December 12th, 2000. Yeah, and the reason it came out on December 12th, 2000 is because, like, I don't know if you guys have been hearing that, like, a lot of states have some sort of weird provision, like if there isn't a decision by a certain time, like then like there's some weird like mechanism that goes into effect where basically you can set aside the popular vote, and there's like a procedure for how you kind of arbitrarily decide who the state's electoral votes go to, and it varies by state. But in Florida, that date was December 12th, and so like whatever the deadline was, the decision came out like 2 hours before that, and so none of that had to go into effect. So crazy stuff, really crazy stuff. Chris Yao says 538 is the telephone code assigned from Turkcell Mobile in Turkey. Probably not what you were looking for. 538 is not like a U.S. area code? 538, the year in Western Gregorian calendar, and the number of electors in the United States Electoral College. Thanks, SD. There we go. Mark Rainey says, Bush Gore evening. I lived in Austin, Texas, and paid 2 folks for their badge that evening and hung out on the governor's lawn listening to Wayne Newton live. Dankeschön? Really? Whoa. That makes me think about like the fact that like President Trump has invited like 400 people to come hang out at like the at the White House for like a watch party tonight, I guess. And then there's also those giant walls going up, and it really just feels like that scene in, I think it was Kingsman 2, the one with Samuel L. Jackson. Did you guys watch that? I hope I'm not spoiling it for you. But I really like Kingsman. I like the franchise. I mean, the first one was good. The rest of them have gotten really, really weird. Like when the Kingsmen like joined forces with the Cowboys, that just was super weird. And was that the same movie? But there was one where Samuel L. Jackson is like a supervillain, and he invites like all these people as part of like this new world order to go hang out in some sort of like bunker somewhere. And like when the new year hits, like some sort of weird like chemical weapon is going to go off, or something weird apocalyptic like that. And yeah, and so the party that the president is planning at the White House feels like that. Like he's got something planned, nefarious and diabolical, and it's going to be like unleashed. That's why everyone's like, you got to get it done today, because November 4th is when something like, you know, a doomsday device goes off or something. I don't know. Yeah. All right. Yeah. Philip Bourne says trolls are taking over. Yeah. We'll see. I mean, I can't. I mean, let me see. I'm always behind you guys in the chat, so I'm gonna try and take control of that, guys, because yeah, I know it bothers me too. All right, let's go to Qzer0002 says, what upcoming shoes will you be reviewing? Tomorrow I'm going to take the New Balance Fresh From More Trail 2. I think that's what it's called. The Fresh From More Trail. That one, I'm going to go for a run in that. I'm going to go run over in New Wine Park, stomp around a little bit, and see if I get those shoes dirty. So that'll be coming. I got a notification that the Rocket X that I pre-ordered, at least the order process, I don't think it's shipped yet. And then I also was finally able to get a pair of Alpha Fly, but that's going to take a while to get here for some reason. So those are the next, I think those will be the next 3 reviews coming up on the channel. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Gus says, I think it was the first week of December, right around the time the electors vote. I watched Cuomo the other day. He had Gore as a guest. Yeah, I think I saw that too. I think, yeah, because I definitely saw Al Gore like on TV the other day. I think it was during Cuomo. But yeah. All right. Let's see. Raynor says, I hated civics class in 8th grade, but now I wish I had learned more. Yeah, I think a lot of people are thinking that. All right. Let's see. Let's do. Arafideos Alizar says, "Are you going to tell us who you voted for?" I voted for Biden, so I don't think that was. Hopefully, that's not a surprise to anybody. But yeah. All right. Let's see. Ben Y says, apparently the midsole foam doesn't last very long on the Rocket X. That'd be a bummer, because I've heard some good things. I couldn't stay away. I watched Jamie's video on it. I know I try to review to like not watch other people's reviews of shoes that I'm going to run in, especially if I'm going to run in them soon. But you know, I hadn't seen any of his videos in a while, so I watched that one, and he said some really nice things. So I'm like, all right, this is it. This is a shoe that I want. What is this? What am I looking at here? Beers. Oh, okay. Cheers. Awesome. Ben Y says, I thought you were a Trump supporter. Daniel M said, Kofuzi voted for Kanye. Kanye was on the Iowa ballot, apparently. He wasn't on the Illinois ballot, but he was. I think he was on the Iowa ballot. Yeah. All right, let's do one more, the bonus question. All right. Copy paste here. Sorry, I don't have this ready for you guys already. So we're talking about a lot of close election stuff. So here's the last bonus question. How often has a U.S. president not won the popular vote? So how often has like the Electoral College kind of come in and done something a little bit different than what at least like a statistical majority of the people, or I guess not a majority of the people, but I think it qualifies as when one candidate doesn't get a majority of the vote. Arnold Anderson says twice. Lewis says twice. Tiba says twice. No, that is not the right answer. Cal also thinks twice. Christopher says 4. Heavyset Go says 3 times. Daniel M says 3. Ben Y 3. The answer is 5 times. It's been 5 times. 3 of those times were like really like a lot earlier on, and they were like some of them had like 3 or 4 candidates in them. But the correct answer is 5. Oh, JC says, how about 5? There you go. Got it right. Awesome. KJ marks it 8 times. Nope. T. Davis says, how many votes do you guys think Kanye will get? Here's the more important question. When the news reports on how many votes Kanye gets, will Kanye be surprised and be like, oh yeah, I forgot I was running for president? Do you think he's even like aware of it? Like, I don't know. Like, I don't understand his mental state. Like, how with it is he sometimes? Or is that like, he's already like, is he like, I'm not even living in 2020 anymore. I'm living in like 2028. I'm so many moves ahead, you know? I don't know. All right. Let's see. Yeah, Ben West says, oh, I forgot Kanye was running. Yeah. I think Kanye probably forgot that he was running. Key verification says, in terms of Kanye's clarity, it depends on the day. I would guess. Daniel M says the new Kanye song is pretty fire, though. Is there a new Kanye song? I don't know. Leona Wong says Kanye was a VP candidate on my California ballot. Frank earlier, I like the way you tied it all together. It's like a student that forgot they registered for a class. Kanye, the college dropout. There you go. Saronic says, is there a serious amount of Trump supporters in Chicago? I will say that there are, but they are overwhelmed by, I mean, Chicago is very Democratic. And so, like, a lot of times there aren't even like Republicans that are running against Democrats. It's like a Democrat runs against another. The primaries are always the real elections in Chicago. The actual elections are always basically like uncontested, because there just aren't that many Republicans that make it onto like elections, because everyone votes for a Democrat. Even Republicans are Democrats in Chicago. But there are a lot of Trump supporters. And there are Trump supporters in Chicago. That's definitely true. Yeah. Gus Constantine said, apparently back in the day, there was no ticket. The candidate that got the most votes won the presidency. The second was VP of the same party. Don't quote me exactly on that. Well, I mean, I knew that only from Hamilton. But then also that changed during the story of Hamilton. But then I also was watching Joe Holder, Ocho Systems, Instagram stories, and he had just realized that fact the other day, and he was like, "This is a great idea. We should totally bring that back." He was advocating for like not abolishing, but like doing away with the ticket system, where there's like a president and a vice president. It shouldn't be a ticket. It should be, something a little bit more competitive. And he's like, because then it makes the vice president, who can cast a deciding vote if there's a tie in the Senate, for example, it makes their job much more consequential rather than just like, another name on the ticket. It makes that job and the responsibilities of vice presidency actually means something. It's not like an appendix or like a derelict appendage in the executive branch. It's actually an important check. And I think that it makes a very interesting point that way. And I think that like if it was, second place is the opposing party, it makes it even more compelling and interesting. So like, but then it was like, imagine if like the potential ramifications of this election were that like Donald Trump could either be president again or would have to move into Mike Pence's office. That would be interesting. Yeah. Johnny he says your Kanye comments are fire. Funny. That's funny. Yeah, Philip Bourne says Kofuzi for 2024. Anyone looks like he's under 70 and has ran a marathon. I can't. I'm not a natural born citizen. I'm a naturalized citizen. I naturalized in 2008. So I cannot be president without a constitutional amendment. But maybe I can run for governor of California, just like Arnold did. So I mean, I think that's the best I could do. But I realize, and maybe this is me, part of like my election anxiety and fatigue. And for some reason, like it occurred, like the thought like crossed my mind today that was like, I don't think I could ever run for an election anywhere. One, because I've moved around a lot and like, I don't have really a place that I can call home. Like I grew up in New Jersey, but like, if I were to go and try to run for like local office, like state representative in New Jersey, people would be like, where you been the last 20 years? So there would be that. And then like, there's no way I could run for anything in Chicago because like, people aren't going to vote for someone that doesn't have a Catholic sounding name or an Irish name, and is not originally from Chicago. So like I can't do that. And even if I were to say move to Iowa, where I have lots of family relations and connections here, like not connections in like the political sense, but like roots, like I just got a very like not dark, but like kind of a little bit of a hopeless sensation, a pessimistic feeling that I don't think people would accept someone like me to be a leader in this area. And so that was my kind of like down moment for the day. Plus, I think my natural strengths are more consistent with the kind of work that I used to do. I was never the guy at center stage. I'm never I consulted with trial attorneys. I was never doing the cross examinations or delivering the closing arguments. But when there was a court recess, I was the guy whispering in that guy's ear or that woman's ear and helping them make those decisions and tactical strategy. And so like that's kind of I'm a really good second in command, but I'm not a front runner. So I mean, I think that was a very serious answer to a joke question, or joke comment, but it's been on my mind. Yeah. All right. Let's see. All right. So Chris says Mikhail Co. There you're Irish. No. Frank LaHulier says you just need a great ag policy to win in Iowa. Yeah, well, yeah, I think it takes a little bit more than that, but ag is a big part of it. And it says I don't have that like kind of, connection. I think that makes it a lot harder. Well, Ross Stubby says Romney moved to Utah and was their senator like 3 weeks later. I didn't know that. I thought he was a native Utahn. I mean, I guess Hillary moved to New York. They accused her of being a carpetbagger too. So, so Thomas Reinhardt said, you'd probably be a great campaign manager. That's a little bit more my speed, or like a policy advisor, chief of staff, that kind of thing. I've, not that I'm thinking about it, but like, you kind of watch TV and you're like, who is this guy? And you're like, I could totally do that job. So that's kind of like been not on my mind really, but thoughts that have, in my kind of like ADD, helter skelter, everything that's going on in here, it's definitely rambled through. All right. Stevie76 says drink tonight. Yeah, I'm probably going to have some. I'm still like, at the tail end of like this head cold thing, and I feel great. And I would like to keep it going, but I have a feeling by like later on in the evening, I'm probably going to, need to kind of have a beer or two. So we'll see. Dan makes a good point. Kofuzi's vegetarian. He could never win in the Farm Belt. Yeah, that'd be hard. Because pork production is really important here, as is dairy farming. I don't eat pork anymore. I still do enjoy dairy, but I think there's a lot of one of the reasons I'm vegetarian. One of the many is that I have concerns about the economic impacts of industrial farms. So yeah, I think that'd be very unpopular here. So anyway, yeah, I'm just sorry. I'm just rambling on. Tomorrow's video is going to be about the workout that I did today. So just some 360 footage, pretty short video. Feeling good. I ran in the endorphin speeds. And then tomorrow I think we'll do some mail time tomorrow, but we'll do it on a live stream. So another live stream, 3 p.m. tomorrow. Maybe we'll have a new president by then, or at least a new president-elect by then. Maybe we won't. But either way, hopefully you guys stay sane and safe out there today, everybody. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for tuning in.